Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Morgan and this is Makeup by Morgan, and today I am so excited to be using this Invocation of the Spirit palette from Wicked Sister Cosmetics. This palette is inspired by the craft, which if you haven't seen my Moonspell palette from Lunar Beauty, I talked about how much I love the craft. It is one of my favorite movies. I saw it for the first time when I was in kindergarten. It was my first rated R movie, and like a bunch of my life goals have come from that movie, honestly. I mean, you have no idea how hard I would try to like balance a pencil on its tip because that would mean that I was a witch. So here is what the inside of the palette looks like. It is super pretty and I'm obsessed with this shade here, Rosary. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing a look today, and then I think that I'll probably be doing another look with this palette soon because there's so many colors that I want to use and there's not enough room on my eyelid for all of them. So today I'm going to be starting with this L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. I'm doing this today because I'm doing my makeup before all of my dance classes and I want to make sure that my makeup stays. So I just dotted that all over my face, and now I'm going to blend with my fingers. Now I'll be concealing using my Revlon Candid Concealer in the shade Light Pale. And I'm blending that using my Beauty 360 makeup sponge. Now with my Maybelline Super Stay Powder and a large fluffy brush, I'm going all over my face. And then with a smaller fluffy brush, I'm just going to go over the places that I put my concealer. For bronzer, I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Color Icon bronzer on a big fluffy Sonia Kashuk brush. And today to contour, I will be using this middle shade here from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. So for my face, I'll be taking that on a large angled face brush, and then for my nose, I'll use a smaller eyeshadow angled brush. For blush, I'm going to be starting with the Milani Rose Blush in the shade Romantic Rose on this fluffy brush from the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. Now I'm going to go straight into eyebrows with my Maybelline Tattoo Studio. I'm doing this because I want to wait until after I do the eyeshadow to highlight today so that I know exactly what colors I'm working with. Okay, now getting into the eyeshadow palette, I'm going to start with the shade Dream Guy, and I'm going to be taking that on this Lorac brush that came with the Beauty and the Beast palette. Okay, now with this Nightmare Before Christmas brush, I'm going to be taking the shade Weirdo. and I'm taking that deeper into my crease. Okay, so first I just want to say that I think it is so creative that they have these like pastel shades in this palette, because usually with like witch palettes it's like all very like dark, but I think that this still totally works with the theme, but it's also very creative. So now I'm going to be going in with the shade Goblet, and I'm taking that on the same brush and I'm going to put that on the outer V. Okay, so now with my finger, I'm going to be taking the shade Love Spell, and I'm putting that on the outer portion of my lid. And then with my finger again, I'm going to be taking the shade Snakes and putting that on the center portion of my lid. And now with my finger, I'm taking the shade Rosary, and I'm putting that over both of those shades as well as the inner portion of my lid. Okay, now taking a smaller fluffy brush, I'm starting with the shade Occult, and I'm going to be putting that on the lower lash line. And then with that same brush, I'm going to be taking the shade Nancy on my lower lash line. Okay, now with a very small Sonny Kashuk brush, I'm going to be taking the shade Nancy again, and I'm going to be putting a tiny bit of that on the outer V. Okay, so here's the completed eyeshadow. That rosary shade is seriously so pretty and sparkly. I love it. So now I'm going to move on to eyeliner. So I'm using this Wet n Wild Kohl pencil in the shade Baby's Got Black for my tight line. And then the shade Calling Your Buff for my waterline. Now I'll be using my Essence Lash Princess mascara. And for falsies, I'll be using these magnetic lashes from the Urban Lash. And now I'm taking my Lash Princess mascara again to blend my natural lashes with the falsies. Okay, so now before moving on to lips, I will be doing the highlight that I skipped earlier. So first I'm going to be taking the Anastasia Moonchild Glow Kit, and I'm going to take the shade Purple Horseshoe, and I'm putting that on the outer portion of my cheekbone. And then for the inner portion, I'll be taking the Anastasia Aurora Glow Kit, and I'm taking the shade Helia. Okay, so now moving on to lips, I'm going to be doing a little bit more of a blotted lip today, and I'm going to be using the Milani lipstick in the shade Flirty. Okay, so after I applied the lipstick, I just tapped it out with my finger a little bit, and then I took a napkin to blot it. So here we have the completed look. I'm super excited about it because of how much I love the craft, and I am absolutely in love with the eyeshadows, so I'm super happy how it turned out. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you.